California's defense will be tested right away as we begin the second half here. It's 30-0. Oregon leading the Bears as Bryant kicks it off for California. Whittle will take it 2 yards deep in the end zone, bring it out to the 10, and he's popped but keeps his feet and is then stopped short of the 20-yard line. Coming out and just putting a big hit on Whittle.
Scott Nady with a big hit.
Oh. Scott Nady met him at the 10, and Whittle able to keep his feet and keep going, but Whittle knows he got smacked there. Look at him.
You know, the Bears are trying to get something going. That's not what you want to do to start off the second half here.
But now Oregon with the ball 1st and 10 on its own 18-yard line. California trailing 30-7. The Bears need to make something happen right away to get back in this ball game. Coming with the rush, O'Neal throws it up intended for McLemore, but incomplete. Now Deadweiler out there, but incomplete. Pretty good coverage, and the Bears got a good pass rush that time.
You know, coming into this game, Rich Brooks said the one thing he was not comfortable with was the health of his team. All of his running backs, Sean Burwell, Dino Filia, Ricky Whittle, all banged up. But, you know, you would never have thought these guys were in the least bit injured. I mean, they've come out and performed, and you know, just incredible.
Yeah, that's kind of like UCLA last week, kind of lulling Stanford to sleep, saying they weren't a very good team. 2nd down and 10. Burwell is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. James Stallworth making the play behind the line to trip up Sean Burwell.
Burwell was one of the guys with a pretty severe ankle injury that had not just played a little bit the last 2 games, and was well enough to get on track today, and he's closing in on being the all-time Oregon Duck rushing leader.
They do move the ball out to the 22-yard line, but it's 3rd down and 7, and a big 3rd down situation right out of the chute here in the second half for California. Back to pass, O'Neal. He felt the rush, threw it for Tate, incomplete. In and out of the hands of his tight end. Right there with him, step for step, was Dante DiPaolo. And now Oregon will have to punt it away as the Bear defense shows its muscle on its first defensive series of the second half.
Willie Tate, the Bears trying to put a hurt on him for those 2 touchdown passes. Good pressure here on Danny O'Neal. Regan Upshaw, Dwayne Clemens put the hurt on him. Great coverage by Dante DiPaolo. Kind of has that hand on the back side of him where the ref can't see it, and does a good job defensively.
Now Tommy Thompson to punt. He's got his shoe back on. Matt Clisby back deep for California. Be just the 2nd punt of the afternoon. And California trying to turn the tide here in the second half. Here comes the rush. They almost get it, but not quite. Clisby will signal fair catch back at the 37-yard line and makes the catch there. The Bears got one last week, and they tried to come that time, but were just a little bit short of blocking that punt.
Artis Houston, again, last week we saw him block one, and they got the touchdown off of it. He is always in there hustling. I mean, for a guy that starts at the corner and then plays on all the special teams, that he has been, I think, a surprise for the Bear coaching staff. Probably the best cover guy the Bears have out in that defensive backfield.
Well, let's see what the Bears talked about at halftime. It's 1st down and 10 for Cal at its own 39-yard line. See what type of adjustments California made, because the first half was all Oregon. Barr, the rush comes, but he gets the ball out to Chapman. Chapman across the 40 with some running room to midfield. He's to the 40, still on his feet. He might go. 10, 5, touchdown California. A 61-yard touchdown play from Dave Barr to Lindsey Chapman as Chapman weaved his way in and out of the traffic. And just like that, the Bears get some life here in the second half as it's 30-13.
Lindsey Chapman is the designated rally starter, boy. I tell you, that was a great play. Bears taking advantage. Chad Cota, the strong safety, is, I guess you could say, he's getting some nose problems. He wants to get up there and defense the run. Bears did a good job there against an 8-man front of dumping it off to Lindsey out in the open field. Tough to bring him down.
Bryant for the extra point. It's up and good. So a long road back for California, but a big step taken there. 13:49 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Oregon 30 and California 14.
Sports Channel wants to know, what are you doing this off-season?
This off-season, I'll be playing golf, fishing, relaxing at home, and watching the Warriors on Sports Channel.
We're going to watch the Warriors and the Sharks on Sports Channel!
Cal stands for football on Sports Channel!
In the off-season, I'm going to watch Cal football.
Me too.
On Sports Channel.
Don't miss Sports Channel's exciting fall lineup.
PASS program is teaching kids that love sports how to use what they know in their athletic abilities and then take it to the classroom and make them a better student. If you teach them how to educate themselves through sports, then they're educated. And now you've got a chance in American society. Being educated, you got a chance.
Join Steve Young and other sports celebrities at the 5th Annual PASS Benefit on Monday, October 4th from 6 to 8:30. For tickets, call 383-5750.
California on the board here in the second half, and this is actually considered a 61-yard run. That was technically a lateral from Dave Barr to Lindsey Chapman, but watch him pick his way through the traffic here.
Frank Beatty got out quick to get that initial cutback or the kick-out block, and you get Lindsey Chapman in the open field, and he can just work miracles, and he gets out here, great touchdown pass reception.
Go down to Glenn Kuiper. Glenn, that's going to change the momentum a little, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot, Joe. You know, sometimes when your team's down by 23 points at halftime, that first drive of the second half can be oh so important. Most of the time, you'd like a nice, long drive, but nothing wrong with a big play. 61 yards to Lindsey Chapman. That's exactly what the Bears needed.
And the Bear defense made a statement as they stuff Oregon on its first possession of the second half. And now the Bears are trying to do the same thing here as Bryant kicks it off. This one coming down to Whittle, about a yard deep in the end zone. Whittle brings it out. And again, Nady had the initial hit on him. Clisby dragged him down short of the 20-yard line. So getting on my special teams situation here, but again, they stopped him back inside the 20.
Did they stay in their lanes, Joe?
They stayed in their lanes. Actually got a little bit excited and got out of those lanes a little bit.
You are the perfect chemistry for a special teams coach. I can see you out there.
Now, 1st and 10 for Oregon, and this place has come alive as the Bear defense will try to stop the Ducks here and get the ball back. Shedrick and Burwell, the backs behind O'Neal. O'Neal pitches it out to Burwell. He's got some running room to the 25, but then the Bears gang tackle him short of the first down.
Whew. You go airborne and then and you get crushed.
I think that was a smart call, though, because it was a safe call. O'Neal wanted to just try to do something where he could get some yardage and get out of that hole a little bit.
He's going against the strength of the offense. The tight end is to the opposite side, so they're actually going into the short side of the field. He just pitches it out there, and here he is going airborne and just getting spanked by Eric Zomalt and company.
Dwayne Clemens down there. They'll measure for the first down as he was right at first down yardage. I thought he was going to be a bit short, and he is just a little bit short as they stretch that out. So 2nd down and less than a yard for the Ducks. You know, it's amazing. You can just feel it in the stadium how a big play like that can kind of turn the momentum and can give the defense a lift, and that's what the Bears are hoping for here.
Well, they get the first, but on the last series, when Willie Tate gets hurt, you can just kind of sense it. They hold him on the 3rd down. They've got a punt, and that sets the tempo for the 3rd period here.
30-14. It was 30-0 early in the 2nd quarter in this ball game. Oregon leading. The Bears with a touchdown in the 2nd quarter and then one here early in the 3rd. And again, Memorial Stadium rocking. Shedrick has the first down out across the 30 to the 33. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ducks.
Nice play by the Ducks. You know, Burwell and Whittle are getting a lot of the carries here. You create a little diversion here and give it to a guy like Juan Shedrick, who's strong. He's 230, not to mention a good blocker, and they pick up good yardage here. Just to note, Rich Richardson's in at corner now, so we're seeing a little rotation out there at that left corner for the Bears.
Richardson on the left corner, the bottom of your screen right now, as O'Neal goes back to pass on 1st down. Throwing long for McLemore, has him out there, and has the catch inside the 25-yard line. They went immediately after Richardson. It was number 6 on number 6 out there. Kristen McLemore for Oregon against Rich Richardson, and that'll take the steam out of you real fast.
Wow, I tell you what, Jody Graham, Ike Booth, and now Rich Richardson are over at that left corner, and he you know, he plays it pretty well. He's just a step behind it. Really a nice throw there by Danny O'Neill to get it out there, and a nice catch over his head. Gets his foot in. That's a big play.
A 42-yard pickup, and O'Neill put that in a perfect place, the only place it could be for the receiver. 1st and 10 for Oregon after that big pickup. Shedrick with some running room inside the 20, down near the 15, and close to first down yardage.
Well, you know, the Ducks are, as we talked about, it looks like they're in a 3 wide receivers set, but that slot is actually the tight end, Willie Tate. What that forces Joyner to do is to step way out and cover him, and they're running right off tackle there. You saw Joyner on the tackle, but Shedrick's already got, you know, 8 yards.
2nd down and 2, and Oregon doing a good job with all the momentum in this crowd, making all the noise, to just kind of quietly continue to move offensively. 2nd and 2, and again Shedrick looking for first down yardage, and I believe he has it, as he needed to get inside the 15 to the 14. Bears drag him down there. Shedrick is a load. He's 6'2", 230 pounds, a senior from Novato, Marin Catholic High School.
He's one of the reasons Sean Burwell has had a great career. You know, Burwell was, as a freshman, gained over 1,000 yards, had 800 yards last year, but he's kind of been hobbled by injuries. But number 24, Juan Shedrick, is a guy that creates most of those holes.
Shedrick a little bit short of the first down by that much. So it'll be 3rd down now. And the Ducks bring in all the beef up front.
Is that the hawk formation? They've got everybody in there. Those guys have got to report into the referee if they're a lineman number. So Kristen McLemore is at the flanker.
And O'Neill just keeps it on a quarterback sneak, driving forward, and should have the first down. He only needed to get a couple of inches, and they were able to move the pile forward. It looked like about a yard.
Yeah, you were talking about Steve Harden at left tackle for the Ducks. He is a load, 6'7", 308. Well, that's, you know, you're keeping the chains moving. You see that first downs, Oregon 19, the Bears only 9. So they've sustained and put together some long drives as a result of the turnovers of the Bears.
1st and 10 for Oregon. Bears showing the blitz. Here comes Burwell. Burwell may go all the way to the end zone. He does. Touchdown, Oregon. The Bears kind of gambling with the blitz, and when you do that, when you get past that first wave, there's not anybody in the secondary to stop you, and Sean Burwell comes up with a touchdown, and I would say the Ducks answered very decisively there after Cal had grabbed the quick momentum in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you got it, Joe. You know, when you get inside the 20, teams anticipate blitzes, and both guys inside backers coming in, Joyner and Willard, and Burwell gets past the line of scrimmage, and nobody touches him.
A 13-yard run by Burwell, and that quiets everyone. 11:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Still lots of time, but Oregon negates that last touchdown by the Bears.
You see Artie shaking his head there, and that's the price you pay sometimes when you gamble. You just create huge voids there. And a back like Burwell has got big play potential on every down.
And the Ducks will go for 2 here as they put 3 wide receivers to the right. And O'Neill looks like he's changing the play. They give it to Burwell, and Burwell gets in for the 2. So Burwell gets in for the 2 right in front of the contingent from Eugene, who made it down here for this ball game, and they are on their feet and clapping, and it's 38-14 now. Oregon leading with 11:18 left in the 3rd quarter.
Now you've got a man in motion here. 3 wide receivers to the right. Well, actually, this is the touchdown run. You can see Paul Joyner and Willard just came upfield, and Burwell was able to get through that first wave, as we'd mentioned, past the line of scrimmage. And look, watch the 2 inside guys. They kind of do a little stunt inside. Joyner just isn't able to get over there. Burwell's speed is just too much for Dante DiPaolo or Joyner.
Well, and that's an example of how you do gamble whenever you blitz people and stunt like that. If the play's going to that direction, then you have it pretty well stuffed up. But if it's not, it's the gamble that you take.
And this is the 2-point conversions. Duck trying to get back that point they lost on the extra point earlier in the game. They had 3 wide receivers to the wide side, spreading things out again.
She'll sound like she was from Texas or something, not from Oregon. Well, now let's see if California can regain a little bit of the magic that Lindsey Chapman ignited a few minutes ago. It's 38-14, Oregon. And not only was that touchdown negated, the Ducks also added a 2-point conversion. So in that exchange, they got 1 more point out of the whole thing than the Bears did. Thompson kicks it off. Benjamin will take it 2 yards deep in the end zone, and now he has to run it out. Couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do, and he'll be stopped all the way back at the 5-yard line. He started out, and then Houston told him to stay, but by that time he looked like he was right about at the goal line, and he couldn't take a chance on downing the ball there.
Now, you know, he wants to make a big play, and he wants to get out of there. He's only really 2 yards deep. If you're back there, you've got to get in front of the guy and say no. I know you make a step across there, and you're committed. Well, there's total yards. Oregon almost doubled it out of the Bears today.
And you know, a lot of that has just been because they have been able to keep Cal's offense off the field.
Had the opportunities and made the most of those turnovers.
And Cal's offense has self-destructed in so many instances today with the turnovers. Now Barr will give it to Chapman. Chapman out to the 10, a 5-yard pickup on first down. Still lots of time. We're winding down to 11 minutes left in the third quarter, but the Bears dug a big first quarter hole for themselves with the turnovers and have been unable to counter that.
Definitely a sense of urgency now with the score as it is. The Ducks answering the bell. They're coming back on that 8-point conversion.
Chapman's near 100 yards. He has 96 yards rushing now. A 61-yarder will help you every time. Raynard Rutherford looking for some running room, but penalty flags as well. And we'll await that.
Well, it looked like Dave Massey, the right tackle for the Ducks, stepped off sides. They snapped the ball in time. But that was close because Frank Beatty and Brian Thuria, the right side of the line for the Bears, looked like they moved a half a second.
Offside. Defense 5 yards from the previous spot. First down.
And it looks like Marty Hawley just takes off early, which he can do in the backfield, and that just is enough to set off Williams there, who just goes over the line and makes a move.
First down for California. After the penalty, the Bears with the ball out at the 16-yard line now. And Rutherford tries to get around the corner, gets out to the 20. And Dante Lewis makes the stop. Looked like he might have had a face mask there, but no call.
That's similar to the play where Lindsey Chapman got a big run. Chad Cota, the strong safety for the Ducks, is really, well, you talk about a strong safety that comes up and forces the play. He is not only the leading tackler for the Ducks, but he's played and took almost every snap last year. He kicks out that block and forces Raynard back in, and Dante Lewis from the free safety position comes in and makes the tackle.
Barr to pass, has Caldwell out there, makes the catch at the 40, and then stopped right near midfield. Again, Woods on the coverage along with Lewis. And just look at the hands on Caldwell's part here.
You ever see him catch with his body? I don't think so. He's you get him bump and run, and the nice thing about it is he doesn't raise his hands until the ball's right in front of him, and it doesn't give Lamont Woods enough time to react. But you know, he gets his hands on that ball, and you can't strip it out of there. Mike Caldwell getting big yardage for a guy known as the quote-unquote possession receiver.
29-yard reception. You see how he wrapped the ball up there also to keep anybody from coming in and trying to strip it out. First and 10 for the Bears at their own 49. The Ducks should be offsides. They got a free play here. They give it to Rutherford, and Rutherford gets across midfield, but it'll be a penalty on Oregon as the Ducks jumped offsides. Let's go down to Glenn Kuiper on the sidelines. Glenn?
All right, Joe, you mentioned the nice crowd from Oregon, and there is quite a few people up here, and one of the reasons is 46 players on this Oregon roster are from California, 16 from Northern California in the Bay Area, so a lot of the kids get to come home and play in front of their family and friends, and as you can see, Green and Gold is enjoying it so far. 38-14 Oregon. They're having a good time up here.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying this and you're from Oregon, I don't know what it would take to make you enjoy something. You mentioned those numbers, 46 Californians on the Oregon roster, 2 Oregonians on the California roster, Ryan Longwell and Kerry McGonigal, 2 guys from Oregon. And Booz, we talked a little bit about that last week as Barr goes back to pass, looking downfield for Semien, and Semien has it, and he goes in for the touchdown. Semien made the catch at about the 10, and then just kind of waltzed into the end zone. No sense getting in there too quickly, I guess, Damien figures. A 46-yard touchdown pass, and all of a sudden, the Bears able to move the ball offensively. Now the question is, can they stop the Ducks?
Just like a wide receiver to savor the limelight there, just strolls in. And Damien looked so early, I thought that the defensive back, Alex Molden, was going to have time to react, but he didn't. And Damien makes a nice over-the-hand catch and strolls in.
It's now a 38-20 ball game, and an Oregon player is hurt all the way back at the line of scrimmage, which is at about the 45-yard line there. They're helping David Massey get up.
Looks like the Bears have got their regular offense in. Could be going for 2 here. Dave Barr in there, yeah.
David Massey will come off the field, and they won't try the 2-point conversion until he's helped off.
Well, he's the second leading tackler for the Ducks, so that's a big loss for these guys. AstroTurf has a way of, it seems like at least, causing a few more of these injuries.
Well, it's padded concrete. I don't know if I'd feel too good about. I mean, that's different than grass, no question about it. Now Cal will go for a 2-point conversion. Barr will work out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right. Throwing for Benjamin, and he isn't able to make the catch. He had him out there, and I don't know if that just went through Benjamin's hands or if Barr missed him by a little bit, but the 2-point conversion is no good. 8:50 left in the third quarter. On offense here in the third quarter, it's Oregon 38, California 20. A 95-yard touchdown drive by the Bears culminated on a 46-yard touchdown pass from Dave Barr to Damien Semien.
Well, Damien is the big play threat that the Bears have out on the perimeter, and he just runs and he turns the opposite way almost, and Alex Molden doesn't react well, and he just strolls in there. We could take an end zone view look, and he really does a great job of adjusting to the ball here and holding on to that with a guy in his face. Just a big play. And here's the mixed extra point. Dave Barr sees now Benjamin open early, and just out of the outstretched arms of now Benjamin.
Doug Bryan to kick it off. Ricky Whittle to take it at the goal line. He'll come out to the 10. And it'll be stopped short of the 20-yard line as again the Bears special teams do the job. And now the question is, can the Cal defense stop the Ducks? If Cal's going to get back in this ball game and have a chance to win it, the defense has to either limit Oregon, I would say, to no more points here, or force some type of a turnover to get the Bears a couple of cheap ones.
That tight end out in the slot it appears to be causing some confusion. Danny O'Neill is checking off, and depending on how the Bears play that, they move that backer out. Now Zomolt's out there, so their support is out farther.
They go with the pass to Detweiler, and Detweiler keeps his feet. Gets out to the 25, to the 28. But another big first down on first for Oregon.
Artie Gigantino put Ike Booth back in at left corner. And they're really working on that side of the defensive, on that side of the corners there against Ike and Rich Richardson and Jody Graham. They've been moving the ball over on that side.
First down for Oregon. After that pickup of 11, Detweiler, 7 catches, 127 yards already. And we're only in the third quarter. First down now. Shedrick will be stacked up at the line of scrimmage and kind of neutralized there after he drives the pile forward for a couple of yards.
Well, Willard in there as usual, and they're used to seeing Shedrick now. It's not a surprise to see him get the ball in a little of these misdirection plays. That was just a quick off-guard play, and they stuff it.
You know, you make a good point about the corners. With Oregon picking on the corners now, you can pretty much count on the fact that down the line, other teams will do it now as well.
You're exposed. When you're on film, those guys will take a look all through the week and set game plans, so you've got to be stout. And Artie Gigantino is doing a little rotation over there.
We've got Booth on the left corner now for California after that pickup of 4 by Shedrick. So it's second down and 6. And Shedrick again drives forward, got maybe a yard that time. So it'll set up a big third down situation for the Bear defense here.
Well, nickel comes in, Marshall Ferran, Gerard Cherry, Kevin Devine in at corner.
Shedrick got a yard, so third down and 5. 7:15 left in the third quarter. It's a 38-20 Oregon lead. O'Neill will pass, throwing for the sideline, and incomplete as he got confused that time with his wide receiver, Christian McLemore. McLemore going upfield, and O'Neill expected him to come back for the ball. And the Bears will take over.
You know, you plug receivers into different positions depending on the formation, and Christian McLemore definitely looks like he ran the wrong route there. And prior to the half, boy, he was getting read the riot act down here. One of the coaches, when they were trying to score when they ran out of time, he didn't know where to line up. So he appears to have some problems there picking up that offense.
Tommy Thompson into punt. Matt Kisby back deep for the Bears. Here comes the rush again. They got it this time. Zomo will take it in for a California touchdown. There's the big one they needed.
Boy, second block punt in 2 games. And they were lined up. I mean, they didn't disguise anything. Those guys lined right up in it, and the Ducks didn't adjust. And you've got to get into a zone blocking technique when you get that many folks up lined up on the line, and the Bears just did a good job of screaming in there.
Eric Zomoff picked up the block punt. It was Artis Houston last week. But now Bryan will come in to attempt the extra point. And his kick is up and good. 6:55 left in the third quarter. It's now Oregon 38 and California 27.
Safari rarely lasts longer than a few weeks, unless it's a safari maintained with genuine AC oil filters. because over hill, dale, and waddy, no other filter can track down, trap, and capture more dirt. So, AC oil filters keep your engine in the hunt for a longer life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time. Now through September 30th, save up to $11.60 on AC spark plugs and filters.
We said the Bears needed a big play on defense, and they got one right here. Tommy Thompson punting.
Well, Zomalt comes up with it, and it looks like Dante DiPaolo makes the break. The big block there, and as we said, they lined up in it, 10 guys. The Ducks did not adjust to the proper coverage blocking scheme, and they get in. There's a cast of thousands in there. That's what happens when special teams gets involved, make big plays, and get the Bears right back in it.
So the second block punt for the Bears in as many weeks. This time they get a touchdown rather than the safety. And now they'll have to kick it off once again. Whittle fumbles the ball in the end zone and covers it there. And now the Bear defense will have some momentum as Oregon will have it 1st and 10 on its own 20-yard line. The Bears closer than they've been since back at the first quarter as it's 38-27. An 11-point ball game, 6:55 left in the third quarter. And if the defense makes a stand here, it's a whole new ball game. O'Neal with 2 wide receivers to the right, and he'll pass on 1st down for Deadweiler. Deadweiler dragged down by Houston, but an 8-yard pickup for the Ducks. Again, you got to credit them for going with something safe right there to try to pick up some yardage and kind of change the momentum a little bit.
Well, Danny O'Neal does a good job of it, and they feel like on 1st down with the corners off, that's a gimme play. One option the Bears have to do is to roll the corners up with the 2 deep safeties. That does give away some inside support, though.
Now O'Neal on 2nd down, again throws to Deadweiler, and again Houston on the coverage, as they'll wrestle him backward, but not before he picks up the 1st down.
You know, as a defensive coordinator, what you got to teach those guys is if a corner can wrap up a defensive back like that, you got to have some guys come over and punish him and hold him up, take a few shots there.
Or even try to punch the ball out.
That's right, strip it out.
But now they move it out to the 32 where it's 1st and 10 for the Ducks. The Bears showing blitz. Here they come. They pitch it out to Burwell. Burwell trying to get around the corner. DiPaolo comes up and takes the hit after a pickup of about 5 yards.
That was nice by Dante DiPaolo because he's coming from the free safety, essentially in the middle of the field, all the way up in support, away from the strong safety. That's the reason the Ducks ran into the sideline. They felt like they could beat a man over there and get an advantage, but he does a good job of squaring up his shoulders and bringing down the ball.
And he kind of just had to hold his ground and let Burwell run over it.
It looked like he got trashed, but he did exactly what you need to do.
2nd down and now penalty flags. And they'll talk this one over. The crowd trying to help out here and make as much noise as possible.
Before the snap, full start, offense, still 2nd down.
So that'll back the Ducks up. 5:25 left in the third quarter. It's a 38-27 ball game. Rich Brooks has seen the momentum swing here in the third quarter. Keith Gilbertson with the biggest character test so far of the 1993 season for his team. Here come the Bears. Here's the pass to Deadweiler, incomplete. O'Neal put a lot of air under that one and tried to have Deadweiler run under it. And you know, makes you kind of wonder, everything that Oregon did in the first quarter, O'Neal was right on the money. And then you kind of wonder what can happen to all of a sudden have passes like that, or one where there's miscommunications, and it's just kind of the way the game goes. You're going to have times where in the game where everything's going your way and times where it's not. 3rd and 10 now. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. O'Neal, the pass. Here comes the Cal. There's the throw. Incomplete. Just off of Deadweiler's fingers. Devine on the coverage. And again, in the first quarter, that one's right on the money, and right now it's not. It's just that much difference. And California's defense holds the Ducks once again, and you think the punt team's not thinking about something right now.
Well, you talk about being out on the island. Kevin Devine is man-to-man, and he's got inside position on the slot receiver. He can't give up the inside. That's exactly where Derek Deadweiler got. And it was, you know, I mean, there was no free safety, no center fielder. Luckily, Danny O'Neill overthrows it.
If the throw's there, it's a foot race.
Oh, man.
So Thompson now will stand at his own 19. Clisby back deep for California. And the Ducks got to be thinking block right now. The Bears with 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. Houston coming again and just almost gets it. Might have got a piece of the ball. Clisby signals fair catch. Back at the 36. Let's go downstairs to Glenn Kuiper. Glenn.
All right, thanks, Joe. Injury report on Oregon senior linebacker Dave Macy. A badly sprained left ankle. He was trying to leap over a Cal blocker. He came down hard on the ankle. It's heavily iced. His shoulder pads are off. In fact, they just put him on a golf cart and brought him into the locker room. I would say he's probably done for the day.
I'd say that's a good assumption, watching him being wheeled off. How much difference does pressure make on the punter? That one was just a 30-yarder that time, and undoubtedly Thompson thinking and trying to get it off quickly. And the Bears may have gotten a piece of it that time as well. Now 1st and 10 for the California offense. Barr on play action. Lots of time to look down the field and dumps it off for Rutherford, incomplete.
That looked like a late developing screen, Joe, because the two wide receivers ran inside just trying to clear things out, and things just didn't develop on that.
But again, you know, you talk about the momentum switch. Barr was not getting any time to throw the ball earlier in the game when it was all going right for Oregon. That time he had time to stand in the pocket, look, finally got the ball away. And it's funny how that momentum can just make things better on both sides of the ball.
And the Bears aren't afraid. Dave Barr's not afraid to throw it downfield, and his receivers have been making big plays for him all day.
Play action once again. Here comes Barr. He'll step up. He'll run it and get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe get a yard. So it's going to be 3rd down and long for California. We're down to the 4:40 mark in the 3rd quarter. A 38-27 ball game. A wild 3rd quarter.
It's Kerry McGonigal signaling in the plays. One of the 2 Oregon players from Oregon.
Barr actually picked up 3 yards on that last scramble. So 3rd down and 7. And he swings it out for Hawley. Hawley finds the handle on the ball, but will not be able to get 1st down yardage. Good defense by Isaac Walker that time from his cornerback spot. And that one-on-one tackle in the open field is about the toughest thing a player has to do. Walker able to corral Hawley, and the Bears unable to do much offensively here on this series.
That's one of the pluses of having a nickel defense in there. You get that extra speed with the extra defensive back in there, and he can run with a guy like Marty Hawley, who's trying to beat him to the sideline.
And now Ryan Longwell will punt it. Brian Brown back deep for the Ducks. Longwell, a high spiral. Brown will take the kick at the 23 and not there's a hit for you.
Yeah.
James Stallworth with the smack on Brian Brown. So the Cal defense will be tested again. 3:28 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Oregon 38 and California 27.
Sports Channel wants to know, what are you doing this off-season?
I'm on vacation a little bit and do a little fishing, and probably go down to Mexico for a while, and then we'll come back and watch the Warriors on Sports Channel.
Stars on Sports Channel!
I'm going to go hunting and watch Cal and Stanford's football on Sports Channel, of course.
Cal football on Sports Channel! Yeah!
Don't miss Sports Channel's exciting fall lineup.
The NBA season is right around the corner, but before Don, Chris, Tim, and the rest of the team take on Michael and Charles, they want to take on you. Join us at the 2nd Annual Warriors Celebrity Sports Day on Sunday, October 10th at the Harbor Bay Club in Alameda. It's your chance to play 3-on-3 basketball, golf, volleyball, or tennis with Warriors players, coaches, and other celebrities. Celebrity Sports Day proceeds will benefit the Warriors Women Save Lives Breast Cancer Awareness Program. Call us today to join in the fun.
Well, this has all the markings of a wild one. If the third quarter is any indication, the Bears have played one of those already this year against UCLA. 1st and 10 for Oregon. Whittle has some running room around the left corner and out near first down yardage, just short of the 40 before he's dragged down. That was a slow developing play. The Bears almost got Ricky Whittle behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to find a hole and make something positive out of it, 11 yards.
Paul Joyner on the left-hand side of your screen will come screaming through there. Now, you know, they're bringing him on a dog. So, as you would imagine, that leaves a big void over there on the left-hand side. Artie Gigantino is a gambling-type defensive coordinator. Likes to bring a lot of pressure.
1st and 10 for the Ducks at their own 39. O'Neal. Here comes the pressure. He's able to avoid it and throws incomplete. Wanted to throw for Whittle. The Bears have been able to pressure O'Neal, but he's elusive back there. They haven't been able to sack him.
He's pretty nifty. I wouldn't say he's flat out fast, but he's got enough lateral movement where he can step out of the pressure area. On that play, Christian McLemore was in the slot. Dante DePaulo and Eric Zomalt did a good job of playing him in and out. And Danny O'Neal had to bail out.
A couple of injury updates for you. Lindsey Chapman has a sprained left ankle. His status is uncertain, but Dave Massey, who we saw leaving on the golf cart, has a sprained left ankle. He will not return to play this afternoon. 2nd down and 10 for Oregon. O'Neal gives it off to Shedrick, and Shedrick is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Marshall Friend in there in the nickel defense, a little excited. Bears trying to hold on to this momentum.
3rd down and 10. Oregon's conversions on 3rd down. The Ducks have been better than 500, and that's always good. But again, the Memorial Stadium crowd trying to help out here on 3rd down and long. Bears showing blitz, and I don't know if Cowell's off. Well, they let him play. And O'Neal's going to be dragged down, no penalty flags.
Great call for the Bears. It looked like Reagan Upshaw had stepped over the line of scrimmage.
I didn't know if Cal jumped or if the Bears were pulled off. But we saw that last week as well, a play like that where the ball was kind of snapped about the same time all the movement was happening and the officials didn't call anything. That's exactly what happened here.
You can see the left-hand side. Reagan steps off, but Steve Harden kind of pulls out of there, too. I tell you what we saw that, Joe, was at the end of the Temple game. Those refs just wanted to get the heck out of there. That was it.
Willard is the one who gets the sack, and Tommy Thompson will come on to punt it again. Clisby again back deep for California. They don't come after him this time, and Clisby will just get out of the way as that ball will take an Oregon bounce, and then it takes kind of a funny bounce, goes back the other way, actually, and will be down at the 27-yard line.
Boy, and Artis Houston is getting in every time. I mean, he is relentless out there on the outside on the punt rush team. Wow.
40-yard punt that time. And the Bears will try to, again, regain some offensive momentum. They still have a road to climb. They're trailing 38-27. They've made up a lot of the ground, but still have quite a bit to go.
You see the Bears huddle on the sidelines. It just makes it a little tougher for the defense. They don't know what personnel is coming into the game, so a little bit of a diversion effect there.
Now Cal with 2 wide receivers to the right. It's Rutherford and Hawley, the backs behind Barr. And they give it to Rutherford, who bangs out across the 30 to the 31 or 2. So good pickup on 1st down. Lindsey Chapman not in there, so the ankle injury keeping him on the sidelines right now.
Good job by Ben Lynch, Eric Malum, and Frank Lee. Those guys getting good surge, just creating enough of a crack where Reynard can just cut through there.
We're inside a minute left in the 3rd quarter. And the Bears not trailing by enough points that they have to just fire it up on every down here. They can run the ball on the ground. They can go back to their original game plan. Rutherford gets out near 1st down yards before he's tripped up.
I'm going to say it again, but I think, you know, some guys that just don't get a lot of publicity, but Eric Malum at center should be up there with Todd Stussy and some of the other guys around the league. That guy dominates, and he's got such great feet. and they're starting to get surge, and there's some cracks between the center and guard gaps here that the Bears are starting to take advantage of.
1st and 10 as Rutherford picked up enough for the first down there. The ball at the 38-yard line. Cal's 38. And Barr will pass it. Rolling out, has Semien out there. He has it at the 40, down the sideline, run out of bounds, finally by Dante Lewis. But the Bears into Oregon territory at the 37.
Well, I tell you what, just little things make big plays, and I think what you see, if you look at the tight splits, you can't tell here on the offensive lineman, it creates a lot of tightness inside, so when Dave Barr bootlegs out and tosses it out, there's just a lot of room to run, but it looked like the offensive linemen were just a little tighter fingertip catch here. Damien is doing a good job of holding on to the ball today.
25-yard pickup on that pass as Cal gets to the 37 of the Ducks. 1st and 10. Little problem with the exchange. They give it to Rutherford. I thought one of the Ducks was offside, but again, one of those kind of crazy plays. There was movement there, and then we saw that they were just going to let him play it.
No flag on the play.
No flag. It'll be 2nd down. But we will have the end of the 3rd quarter as the clock winds on down. 1 quarter left to play at Memorial Stadium. If the 3rd quarter any indication, the 4th quarter will be a wild one. It is Oregon 38, California 27. Stay tuned, lots more to come.
Sports Channel wants to know, what are you doing this offseason?
Hi, this is Will Clark of the Giants, and I'm going to be hunting and fishing in the swamps of Louisiana and watching the Sharks on Sports Channel.
And again, he's shooting, scored!
I'm Royce Clayton. This offseason, I'll be playing a lot of golf and watching the Warriors on Sports Channel.
Points coming Cut.
So now, what are you going to do once the Giants season's over?
Gonna watch Cal play football, mother.
I'm gonna go fishing, hunting, and watching the Sharks on Sports Channel, and hopefully this year I'll understand them a little better than last year.
To Clayton, shot, score! Throws and is cut.
Cal, Stanford, football on Sports Channel!
We're going all the way, baby! Don't miss Sports Channel's exciting fall lineup.
One quarter to play at Memorial Stadium. Hang on, everybody. 38-27, Oregon leading the Bears. 2nd down and 10 for California. It has been a wild one, and every indication is the 4th quarter be even crazier. Barr throwing intended for Uwaezuoke and incomplete.
Well, Dave had to throw the ball a little bit before Iheanyi was out of his break there, and it was just tough. I think Dave is saying there, you got to come back. You know, what's the depth of your route? They got to be on the same page at this point in the game.
Now California needs 10 yards here. 3rd down and 10. If the Bears can get in the end zone here, you got a whole different ball game going on.
You got to start playing that game. Do they go for 2, and then that would allow a tie if they got another field goal, or do they just go, hope to get the 2 touchdowns, obviously.
Barr will work out of the shotgun. On 3rd down, here comes the rush. He's throwing it up. Throwing for Semien, and contact down there, but no penalty flag. Semien and Woods were going man for man down there. And Semien wants a flag, Gilbertson wants a flag, but they don't get one.
Well, let's review this thing here again. And both guys going for the ball, but I think they're going to rule it just wasn't catchable. But that was like a pretty good mugging down there.
Lamont Woods on the coverage. You can see him kind of elbowing with Semien there. And again, the official right there, but as we've seen, that guy's not necessarily going to make the call. It might be the guy 40 yards away. Longwell to punt it, trying to get the ball down inside the 20. The Bears get down there, and they do down it inside the 10-yard line.
Great play by Brian Remington. He's allowed to catch that ball when the punt returner bails out of there. He can do that. They were trying to what they call pooch punt it down there to get it down as close to the goal line, and the punt team is just going to taught to go down there and then face up when they get down to the end zone line.
Be sure and tune in Saturday at 9:30 when Heisman candidate Heath Schuler and Tennessee take on Alabama. That's live on Sports Channel Saturday at 9:30. Here at Memorial Stadium, it's 1st and 10 for Oregon on its own 9-yard line. We're early in the 4th quarter. Ricky Whittle trying to get some better field position for the Ducks, not able to do it. Artis Houston with a good job coming up from his cornerback position to put the stop on Whittle, force him out of bounds after a pickup of 2.
For a little guy, the guy plays tough, and a great thing right now that you got to believe the Ducks are going to try to run that clock out, but the running back goes out of bounds there, stops the clock, so the Bears are got to be aware of that clock now.
14:41 left in the ball game. It's 38-27, Oregon leading California. O'Neal gives it to the first man through, but banging in there was Shedrick. Again, the Cal defense rose to the occasion.
Boy, Paul Joyner, if there's one guy that's been making big hits today, it's Paul Joyner. He's put a couple guys on his back there. He just stuffed Shedrick. Just really came up. Well, I tell you what, he fills. Once he reads, he gets rid of the blocker and makes a great hit.
3rd down and 7. The Bear defense trying to force a big play once again. Cal has already produced a touchdown on a block punt. O'Neal to pass, throwing for Detweiler. He's in the open to the 40. It's a foot race. He's to the 40, 30. Cherry's after him and finally drags him down at the 10-yard line. But a huge play for the Ducks on 3rd down. Gerard Cherry finally caught up with him after an 80-yard gain.
Big play, big play, and Detweiler just runs about a 5-step post. It's the wide guy on the perimeter there is Detweiler. The inside guy will run a shoot route, clear out, and there just isn't good position. The artist doesn't make the tackle. Gerard Cherry comes from the other side, and you can see him running down Detweiler. Shows pretty good wheels there and makes the tackle to save the touchdown.
But a huge play for the Ducks as now they have it 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line of the Bears. Whittle looking for the end zone. He gets inside the 5, still driving forward, and is finally stopped at the 3. Boy, what a big 3rd down and 7 play for Oregon to go 77 yards officially on that pass from O'Neal to Detweiler.
One missed tackle and big plays can result.
Now the big thing for Cal here is to try to hold the Ducks to a field goal try. But 2nd down and 1. Shedrick gets the 1st down, not the touchdown. Gets down to about the 1-yard line is where they'll mark it.
Good fill by Gerard Cherry right there. Comes up and prevents Juan Shedrick from getting in there.
And now an official timeout as they will actually come out to measure it. He needed to get down inside the 1, and I thought he did get down there for the 1st down, but they'll measure it. And actually, he's a little bit short. So 3rd down, and that much for a 1st down, about a yard for a touchdown.
See Rich Brooks on the sideline there. Quarterback coach Mike Vellotti.
How'd you like to be the guy's job it is there to hold that cable and make sure he doesn't get tangled up in the cable? What do you do on the sideline? Well, I hold the cable, and the coach yells at me a lot when he gets tangled up in it. 3rd down and 1. Shedrick and Whittle, and O'Neal's going to be stopped short. They tried to go with the quarterback sneak, and O'Neal was stuffed. Fourth down, and the Ducks looking toward the sideline.
Now they're saying, Juan Shedrick saying, let's go for it. That offensive line of the Ducks just kind of buried their heads and allowed that surging defensive front of the Bears to come up and put the big hit on O'Neal.
Oh, you want big defensive gut check here. Here it is for California. 11:45 left in the ball game, a 38-27 game, and now O'Neal will call timeout and go over and talk it over.
Yeah, Rich Brooks is over there signaling for the timeout.
We'll take a break. 11:42 left at Memorial Stadium. It's Oregon 38 and California 27.
The SEC rocks prime turf. The Razorbacks are ready to rock when Heath Schuler's primed to send the balls right into your living room. The road gets rocky in the ACC. Who will prevail? Who will play spoiler? It's an all-out struggle for conference dominance. The ACC, it's where the action is.
Away by Jones. 20 left on the 45 for the Trojans. Knocked away. Steele behind the back. Jones to
Field. You're watching Sports Channel, an affiliate of Prime Network.
Third down and less than a yard for the Oregon Ducks on this play. We're at Memorial Stadium. Oregon leading California 38-27. Here's how that play worked on the quarterback sneak.
You see that flying body in there? I think it's Willard, and he puts his helmet right in the chest of O'Neal. O'Neal bounces back and kind of tries to skiv up to the right. Bears do a great job of holding him down.
So now Oregon talks about it, and it'll be a 4th down and about 1 for a first down. About a yard and a half for a touchdown. And the California defense trying to rise to the occasion here. 11:42 left to play. O'Neal has Shedrick and Whittle, the backs behind him. And he's going to throw for it. And it's batted away by Ike Booth. Ike Booth came in to bat the ball away as they tried to go to Juan Shedrick. And the Bear defense holds here.
That ball just held up too high, and Ike Booth has got too much speed, and he can close on that thing. Pretty good play call. Play action, opposite way. Juan Shedrick in the flat, but Booth comes over, right hand, bats that thing away. Good pressure, really good play design, but you got to get that ball out there with a little more zip. And Ike Booth, he's due for a big play, and that was it.
So the California defense has the ball on its own 1-yard line. The Bears will try to go 99 yards from here. Barr has Hawley and Rutherford, the backs behind him. They give it to Rutherford. He bangs it out to about the 2, and that's all. Clock rolling, 11:25 left to play. The Bears need 2 touchdowns. And they're a long way away from number 1. Actually got the ball out to the 3, a gain of 2, where it'll be 2nd down and 8.
You can get a little breathing room here.
Oregon defense has been on the field a long time here in the second half, and now Barr takes a long time, and we'll like to go over and talk this one over as the Bears will use a timeout.
Boy, I hate to see the Bears use one here. They may need that down the road here. Looks like they just weren't able to get the play in time.
You know, all Warriors home games are sold out, so call 1-800-926-SPORT or your cable company now to catch their entire season on Sports Channel. Order now and see 40 exclusive games that you can't get anywhere else. Call right now to order the Golden State Warriors.
Now, Danny O'Neal wishing he had that pass back. He would have probably put a little more zip on it, and Ike Booth wouldn't have been able to get there in time. But great defensive play.
California, after the Bears dug themselves a hole in the first quarter in this ball game. I think the Bears would like to have the first quarter back, or not in this one. Cal fell behind 24-0 and then 30-0 early in the second before the Bears kind of got a wake-up call. It's now 38-27. And the Bears trying to have to get in the end zone 2 more times. There's no other way about it. Give it to Rutherford. Rutherford out across the 5 to the 7 or so. So it'll be 3rd down. Cal needs to get out to the 11. for a first down beyond the 11, actually.
Bears are in their run mode offensive formation with the 2 tight ends, Chris Carpenter and Brian Remington in there with the solo wide receiver. And it looks like they're going to stay in that in a 3rd down and 4.
Barr taking a long time in the huddle right now. The play clock down to 7 seconds. You should get the snap off here. Now man in motion for California, and Barr will pass it on 3rd down. And throws it out for Sean Bullard, who has the first down. Knocked out of bounds at the 20. That's the first catch of the season for Sean Bullard, and it could have come at a better time.
Big play right there. He just kind of snuck along, and they were thinking run. Nice play action. And Dave's got plenty of time here. See Marty Hawley with a good block to secure it in case he's got to run out of there. Sean Bullard just makes the catch, just want to hold on to the ball, and they get the first down. Big first down for the Bears.
Bullard, a 13-yard reception. He's a redshirt freshman out of Skyline High in Oakland for his first career catch, and that's a big one. So the Bears get out of the shadow of their own end zone. 1st and 10, the ball at the 19. And Barr throws quickly to Caldwell. Caldwell hangs on up at the 26. Stays inbounds. Molden on the stop. Tomopio also there for Oregon.
That I believe, is Mike Caldwell's 100th catch, and he enters a pretty elite group of guys, and he's been so productive. So great to see him, you know, for a guy who only had 7 catches in the last 8 games, I think, last year, and just emerged like he has this year. He's been so productive for the Bears.
2nd down and 3 after that 7-yard pickup. Give it off to Rutherford. Rutherford with some running room out near the 40-yard line before he's stopped by Molden. But a first down for the Bears. They move it out to the 39.
And Eric Malum comes out, pulls out, and kicks out. And I tell you what, great holes and a lot of room. Well, he picked whatever hole he wanted to. Watch Eric Malum kick out on 48 there, and then Reynard just cuts underneath with a whole lot of room. And one of the things those safeties don't like, Marty Hawley, good block in there as well. Alex Molden, he doesn't like to tackle those big guys.
1st and 10 now for Barr. And he throws, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Caldwell, and you won't see that very often.
Looked like he just jumped a little too early. His timing was just off a little bit.
And he almost got it back. He had the ball.
Double caught it, but
Caldwell, that last milestone catch for him. But he's right now kicking himself about number 101. It didn't happen.
Well, you know, he could have 10 catches in a day, and the only one he'll think about is that one right there.
Clock stopped, 9:09 to play. Barr throwing, and that time pretty good hands by Caldwell to hang on to that one. Comes right back to him, and that'll stop the clock. The ball up at the 45.
Bears just taking, you know, the old cliche, what they can get, just a quick out here. Mike does a good job. Ball out a little ways. Nice catch. Corners off. Those are gimmies. Easy yards to pick up.
We're not talking about hands. There were some hands right there on that ball. Stretched out and grabbed that one on his fingertips. But now 3rd down and 5 for the Bears. Barr changing the play at the line. Did the Ducks get back? No penalty flag. Here comes the rush. Barr trying to get away and has to eat the ball back at the 30. 34 is where they'll mark it. There was movement along the defensive line, but it looked like the Ducks got back right before the snap.
And that's about the 5th time we've seen somebody over the, you know, it looked like over the line of scrimmage and no call.
Now Longwell will have to punt it, and the clock becoming an enemy of the Bears. 8.5 minutes left to play, and Cal still trailing by 11 points. Longwell, it's a high wobbly spiral, but Brown signals for the fair catch back at his 28-yard line. A 46-yard punt by Longwell. But Cal's defense will need to come up with something big here. 8:22 left to play at Memorial Stadium. It remains Oregon 38 and California 27.
The atmosphere is charged. The players focused. Pac-10 pride is at stake, and there's no feeling like it. Get ready. The party is about to begin. The scoring drive. That's what it's all about. Beating the team.
80 yards. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown.
First and 10, fourth and inches. It doesn't matter. Just break the tackle. Go all the way. The only goal is take it into the zone.
Cal football fans fall into two categories. Some are outright lunatics. The others wouldn't know a forward pass from a garter snake. Either way, on certain Saturday afternoons, they all head over to Memorial Stadium to root for the Golden Bears. Maybe you should get some tickets for one game or the whole season. Call 1-800-GO-BEARS because this year, everybody's getting into Cal.
Gatorade sponsors the Cal versus University of Washington game October 9th. Gatorade, it's all you're thirsting for.
California's defense with a big test here. 8:22 left to play in the ball game. The Bears need to get the ball back and get it back quickly. Sean Burwell gets around the corner and gets out to the 35-yard line. A big pickup on first down. We'll go downstairs now to Glenn Kuiper. Glenn?
All right, thanks, Joe. You know, I was thinking at halftime, very seldom do good teams play 4 bad quarters of football. Cal played 2 bad quarters, obviously, in the first half, but they've showed that they are a good football team. They've come back and played very well here in the second half. And, hey, they're down by 11 points with just under 8 minutes to go. They still got a chance to win this football game.
Up to the defense right now to try to stop Oregon and give the Bears that opportunity. Second down and 2 after that 8-yard pickup by Burwell. And now Whittle with some running room. He's across midfield. It's a foot race. He's to the 40, the 30, and then knocked out of bounds at the 20. Boy, Oregon has just had the big plays whenever they have needed them. And that run by Ricky Whittle for 44 yards takes the ball deep into Cal territory at the 20-yard line.
Center Tom Curran, if you can watch the center, gets a block on Jarrett Willard right there to the left of your screen and knocks Jarrett out. And that's the difference in this play. Whittle's able to get outside. Everybody's engaged, and he's got pretty good wheels. Big play.
Cal defense on that last series stopped the Ducks inside the 2. Bears being asked to do it again here, but now the clock winding down. We're almost at the 7-minute mark. Juan Shedrick will be thrown backward. Now we're exactly 7 minutes left to play.
You know, linebackers, and not to certainly berate what Jarrett Willard does, but you can't choose a side sometimes. You've got to engage that guy straight on so you can shed him. When you choose a side, the back will just make a cut. Boy, Whittle made the most of that play. That's a tremendous offensive play for the Ducks.
1-yard pickup for Shedrick on that last carry. Shedrick and Burwell again the backs behind O'Neal on second down and 9. Pitch it out to Burwell. Lots of green in front of him as he gets inside the 10. Has a first down to the 8-yard line. That little option has been effective for the Ducks, and you know, it's technically an option, but I don't think it's ever designed for O'Neal to keep the ball on this team.
No, I don't think they want to, and you take too much punishment. They just pitch it out there. Again, I think you've got more room this year with the hash marks being in closer. You'll see teams get the ball out there to the short side of the field because there's just more room out there. Artis Houston really being blocked by Derek Deadweiler. Deadweiler did a good job to create some room for Burwell.
Burwell goes over the 100-yard mark. O'Neal throwing to the end zone, incomplete. Wanted to go to Deadweiler. The break for the Bears, that stops the clock now. 5:59 to play. About all California can afford here is a field goal, and then the Bears would be trailing by 14.
You see 2 different quarterbacks signaling in the plays there, and you got to believe that's for Denny Schuler. Maybe Denny is retained some of those signals. So they've got the extra guy there.
Tony Graziani was number 10. Ryan Perry Smith, number 17, number 2 and 3 in the depth chart behind Danny O'Neal for the Ducks. Second down and 7. Or goal from the 7, and they give it to Whittle, who Whittle gets about to the 5. But what the Bears have to do here is force the Ducks into a field goal try. That would put them down by 14. And they still have a shot.
Go for that 2-point conversion for the win.
If Oregon goes in for a touchdown here, it's pretty much over. Clock rolling now. We're down to the 5.5-minute mark. Third down and goal from the 4 for the Ducks. O'Neal back to pass, looking to the end zone, and incomplete pass.
Boy, and if you're a receiver coming across the middle there when linebackers aren't really dropping that deep, Paul Joyner put the wood on.
It was McLemore, Kristen McLemore, right at the goal line and was unable to hang on to the ball.
And if you're going to do that, you've got to settle in between guys. You can't run blindly across the zone because somebody's going to come and knock your clock off. Great play. Now watch across. He doesn't settle. He just runs across like it's man-to-man. And Joyner does a great job of just stripping the ball out of there. Jars it loose.
So Tommy Thompson will attempt a 21-yard field goal. And his kick is up and good. So it's now a 14-point ball game. 5:11 left to play at Memorial Stadium. Thompson's field goal gives Oregon a 41-27 lead.
But a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom Battery. Delco's rated tops for taking the pole position in starting power and excelling in reserve capacity. Helps keep your engine in the race for a longer, more reliable life.
AC Delco. It's like buying time.
Keep your car in the running for that extra lap with Delco batteries.
Well, the hill for California made a little bit steeper after that field goal by Tommy Thompson. The only saving grace for California out of that was that the Ducks didn't get in the end zone. Total yardage the Cal defense has given up today that far exceeds anything the Bears have done previously this season. And Niall Benjamin will take this kickoff at his own 2-yard line, trying for a good return. Gets past the first wave, he's still on his feet. He needed to get past one more tackler. He had only the kicker between he and the end zone.
And I tell you, the two deep guys now, Benjamin and Artis Houston, are thinking one thing: big play. They have got that on their mind before Thompson kicks that thing off, and that was a great play. The wall set up, and he was able to get through and make a big play. The Bears have got pretty good field position here.
25-yard return. The Bears with the ball at their own 28-yard line. 5:03 to play. So time running short on California. The Bears need to get down and get one in the end zone right now. Tyrone Edwards and Raynard Rutherford, the backs behind Barr, who wants to throw it on first down. Going long downfield, has Semien out there. He's at the 20, he's at the 10. Touchdown, California! Barr threw a 72-yard touchdown pass to Damian Semien. Had him out there behind everybody. And don't count the Bears out of this one yet.
Dave Barr throwing that on a scramble, and they came out in an obvious zone coverage. He drops back, was looking for Mike Caldwell. Mike really never found the lane. Damian kept running down the middle of the field. He didn't settle up. He just kept working. He kept working. Dave Barr was able to get loose and wings it.
Ryan's extra point is good. So 4:53 left to play in the ball game, and it's now a 41-34 ball game. Well, that drive took a long time, didn't didn't they?
That's what the doctor ordered, a couple seconds.
Exactly. Oregon scored with 5:11 to play, and the Bears come right back with 4:53 to play, so it took him 8 seconds.
You talk about improvising. Dave Barr just gets back here. He's waiting for Mike Caldwell to sit in one of those zones, but Mike is kind of in a tweener position. He steps up. Look at Damian staying inside, away from that free safety. And Dave Barr, because he's got such a strong arm, I mean, God, he's able to throw it 60 yards down the field and get to Damian Simmons.
Barr had to just wing that out there with about everything he has on this drive.
Look at the protection. Eric Malum there, all those guys giving him enough time. And Damian, who's got good wheels, just outruns Alex Molden.
So you want to talk big series coming up? It will definitely be that for the Cal defense and the Oregon offense.
Boy, the key, that drive just didn't take any time. If you could, that's what the doctor ordered, boy. First play, boom, touchdown.
Now Oregon will be in a position where the Ducks want to grind the ball out. They don't want to be too predictable, but they don't want to take any chances either, because if they turn the ball over in this type of situation.
The kickoff return team is up and anticipating a squib here.
Ryan kicks it deep, and that'll chase Whittle back in his own end zone, and he'll fall down there to down it. And Oregon will have it 1st and 10 at its own 20. So Cal's defense, in a game full of big defensive series, will face its biggest one of the game so far. This team has shown that it has heart no matter how this game eventually turns out. After Cal fell behind 30-0, the Bears have come back to make it a cliffhanger. Movement, but the Bears get back. 1st and 10. They give it to Whittle. And Whittle with some running room to the 30. Down the sideline to the 40 and out to midfield. I thought they had that play pretty well defense, but Whittle was able to keep his feet and picks up 30 yards out to midfield.
Well, for a guy that came into the game with a pretty serious groin pull, wasn't anticipating a play, and he breaks a couple tackles here. You see, good. Regan Upshaw gets blocked. Mike Davis gets knocked down. Jarrett Willard looks like he misses, and Whittle is off to the races here. And watch this. You don't see that too often. Eric Zomalt takes the blow from Ricky Whittle.
Whittle 10 carries now for 101 yards, so both Burwell and Whittle over the 100-yard mark today. Cal player getting helped off on the far side of the field. That's Artis Houston. But now the defense really has to dig in. The ball at midfield.
Jody Graham comes in. He's dinged up. He's got kind of a bad knee.
All right, let's go downstairs to Glenn Kuiper. Glenn?
All right, thanks, Joe. I just asked Damian Simeon any special route on that play. He said, no, I just ran right by him. That's kind of the way Matt used to do it, isn't it?
A subtle little stab there, I think, huh?
We said 101 yards for Whittle. It's actually 111 yards for Whittle. So 1st and 10 for the Ducks. The ball right at midfield, and Shedrick bangs it into the Cal territory down to the 45.
Boy, the more you see of Juan Shedrick, he is a good fullback. He's been steady all game, picking up really good yardage, tough yardage, on top of doing a great job blocking.
Well, here's where the Bear defense has to make it stand. The Bears cannot allow Oregon to score any more points in this ball game. And the defense needs to get the offense the ball back with some time left on the clock. We're at 4 minutes left to play. Tate and McLemore go out wide to the right for the Ducks. Deadweiler wide to the left. On 2nd down and 4. And Shedrick will not get the 1st down. He'll get a couple. So it'll be 3rd down and about 2. Actually, call it 3. They'll give him 1 yard on that last play.
Well, Bill Ayer and Reagan Upshaw, Stafford Evans did a good job getting in there. We've got a player down. Looks like Burwell. And he is not moving.
It'll be a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Ducks. They took the ball on their own 20, and after that 30-yard run, by Ricky Whittle. Put the ball at midfield. They've now moved into Cal territory.
Let's just take a look here as Danny O'Neill hands off. And you really can't tell. It looks like his foot might have gotten caught initially, but he came out of it. And then Paul Joyner might have pulled a muscle, and just his lack of movement would, I don't know, it's tough to tell from here.
If you're wondering about that big roar from the crowd, it was the result of the Giants-Dodger game, which was just announced that the Giants beat the Dodgers 5-3, so that thing all, of course, comes down to the last day of the season. But by the time you're watching this broadcast, that's all history and has all turned out one way or the other.
Right.
Biggest comebacks in Cal history, relatively recent in Cal history, have both been 21-point efforts.
And I'd like to make history today.
So if the Bears can come back and win this ball game, it would be their biggest comeback in the history of this ball club, the long history of University of California football.
You know, Sean Burwell came in with a bad ankle, and maybe that was, it just seems to be they're addressing his upper body there, so he's had a pretty fair day for a running back.
3:36 left in this ball game. The clock stopped on this injury, and when they resume play, it will be a big third down situation for Oregon.
With Artis Houston getting hurt and possibly being in a nickel situation, although it's 3rd and 3, but when the Bears do get in that nickel, you know, you've got to anticipate some guys with not that much experience getting back in there. Kevin Devine and some of the other players. Rich Richardson.
You see the Cal players coming over to Michael Davis to wish Burwell the best, as he's going to be helped off the field.
Well, that's Juan Shedrick.
Oh, it's Juan Shedrick. Sports Channel just doesn't quit with 170 live exclusive games year-round. Join us for the season kickoff of the Warriors and Sharks. To order, call your cable company now or 1-800-926-SPORT. Juan Shedrick will be helped off the field, and Jared Willard goes over to tap him and tell him good luck. But now, as is the case so many times in this game, you have to let one emotion go right behind you and get back up for the other emotion, which is stopping Oregon here on 3rd down and short. And that's what the Bear defense will have to do, as the Bears will try to dig in. The ball at the 43-yard line of California. 3rd down and 3. Kulo Malapei comes in to replace Shedrick at the fullback position. Whittle is the tailback. And they'll pitch it out to Whittle, trying to get around the corner. Did not get the first down. Willard came over to knock him down as he tried to cut it upfield. And Thompson will come in as the Ducks will have to punt.
Well, they brought that split tight end. They brought him in motion to crack down on Dwayne Clemens. Dwayne did a good job. Let's take a look at it. You can see the tight end Whittle comes down, cracks on Clemens, knocks him out. But look at Joyner. Joyner's right there. Look at Willard coming in at the top of your screen. Boom. Tackle, no first down. It's 4th and 1.
So Thompson will punt it away. Clisby and Benjamin will be back deep for California. Willard's numbers today.
But if you are having that goal, that will be all the time stay at the same distance from you. That's why I'm trying to set maybe easier goals, but with shorter distance away from me. Right now I'm having goals in my goals against average, about my saves percentage, all those technical. Next goal will be win a Stanley Cup.
Right.
Right now, just to get onto it, to get onto playoffs. That's our smallest one goal, but it's not small.
No, it's
I'm
not
telling
small.
you.
You can keep up with the San Jose Sharks all season right here on Sports Channel. From Burlingame, for Sports Channel Sports Minute, I'm Casey Shaughnessy.
"85 yards to go before anybody has to make this decision. But I'll give you a chance to think about it ahead of time. Do you go in for the 2 or do you kick the extra point to tie it?
Got to go for the win. 4 wide receivers.
Barr will work from the shotgun, throwing on first down, intended for Benjamin, but overthrew him. Had him open along the sideline as they wanted to just pick up a little chunk of yardage there, but Barr just plain missed it that time.
Well, the Ducks are just playing real soft. Not anybody within 5-6 yards, and now they just got to convert on that. Step out of bounds. You'll notice if he's going to try to throw close to the sidelines, so the receivers can just step out.
Now the first order of concern for Cal, pick up a first down here. 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 15-yard line. And again, Barr will work from the shotgun. Has time, throwing downfield and overthrew his receiver again. Had Iheanyi Uwaezuoke out there, and again had a little bit of room to make a catch, but overthrew him.
Dave's trying to make it tough here. It's 3rd down and 10. They need a first, and they're still playing soft. I see a little bit of a mismatch with Chad Cota, the strong safety over there on Mike Caldwell in the slot. That's a speed mismatch. I know Mike can blow by there.
The Bears are 3 for 11 on their 3rd down conversions today. They need a huge one right here. 3rd and 10. Barr again from the shotgun. Rolling away from trouble. Looking for Semien. Has him breaking open, but no. Throws it complete to Uwaezuoke and has the first down out at the 31. Semien and Uwaezuoke were in the same area right there. Semien broke out of the way, and Uwaezuoke made the catch as Barr tossed it to him.
Well, Semien and Caldwell on the close side, to the right-hand side of your screen. Caldwell's downfield. There's Damien. Iheanyi comes right into the fold right there, and they talk about Dave Barr not being able to throw on the run. Just a great job there.
First down, he throws and complete to Semien, who gets out of bounds and stops the clock and does pick up the first down. And again, if you're Oregon, you want to keep everything in front of you, so that's going to give the Bears opportunities to pick up little chunks of yardage like that.
You know, defensively, if you're the Ducks, you want to play coverages that take away the outside, forcing everything inside, so those guys can't step out of bounds. Bears are just doing a good job of hitting the guy, getting out of bounds, and saving time.
Now 3 wide receivers to the left for the Bears. Holly, the lone running back, comes in motion to the right. And Barr to pass it, trying to roll away from trouble. Now has a big lane, he'll run. Pick it out of bounds as he gets into Oregon territory, goes out at the 48.
Smart play, doesn't throw it downfield where he doesn't feel like he's got a good lane to throw. Most importantly, gets out of bounds. Take a look. He only takes a 3-step drop. I'd like to see him get back there a little deeper just to take some pressure off the offensive lineman, but not really good coverage there, and gets positive yardage, gets out of bounds. 2nd and short.
2nd down and 8, or 2, I should say, after pickup of 8.
We're looking there at Nick Aliati, defensive coordinator, took over for Denny Schuler.
They keep it on the ground, bang it out to Holly. He's to the 40, has the first down, and down to the 40-yard line of the Ducks.
Boy, you see that block by Todd Stussy in the middle. And I guess he's as big as he is. He's pretty easy to run into, but he just engulfed the defensive player there, and a lot of room to run.
Holly's first carry of the day, a big one. 1st and 10 for the Bears at the 40-yard line of Oregon. Barr to throw it on first down along the sideline for Semien. Has it and out of bounds at the 30.
That's a big league pro right there. Stephanie's on the far hash side. And Simeon's to the wide side of the field, steps back. It doesn't even step into it. Look at where it is. Perfect.
Right on the money.
Perfect.
Just a reminder that the Stanford-Notre Dame game coming up right after this one on Sports Channel. 1:36 left to play in the ball game. Cal with the ball at the 30-yard line of Oregon. Still 2 timeouts left for the Bears. Barr from the shotgun. Throwing complete. And that time they had him covered very quickly as he threw to Semien. And the Ducks closed in a hurry. Dante Lewis and Alex Molden. And now the clock will stop as California will take a timeout with 1:22 left to play. And we'll take a break. It's going to go down to the wire. Oregon 41, California 34. .22 left to play. A very simple scenario for the Bears. They need to get in the end zone. Then the choice becomes, do you go for 1 or do you go for 2?
Well, I think you go for 2, Joe, but I think the Bears, if they're going to throw it, they should throw it here where the 27-yard line, where the receivers have got some areas to work. It gets tougher to throw as you get in closer.
Barr on the shotgun, throwing for the end zone, just as you said. He's got the receiver there. Touchdown, California!
Like they're getting geared up to go for 2 here. Dave Barr getting directions from Gilbertson. You gotta believe they're going to go with something that's going to give them an option where he's got, you know, Dave maybe has a couple different options, either to throw the ball, sprint out. Here it is. Be alert for a pick.
41-40 ball game. Barr will try the 2-point conversion. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Has Hawley and Rutherford, the backs behind him. Wants to pass it, throws the fade to Caldwell. Did he catch it? Penalty on the play. A penalty on the play as they threw the fade. And it's good anyway. It's good anyway.
He was in.
The 2-point conversion is good, and California leads it 42-41.
Well, that's the greatest comeback in Cal history right there. 30-0 deficit. And on an audible play.
Is that a gutty call? And a gutty throw? To put that up there on a fade pattern. Here's the touchdown from Dave Barr to Iheanyi Uwaezuoke.
Just outruns Alex Molden, and he's been beat basically like a drum all day, and he gets a step, and Dave Barr does a great job of just rearing back and putting it perfectly where the defender can't get the ball, and a great catch. That's a lot of concentration for Iheanyi. Okay, here's the 2-point conversion, just a fade, which he checked off to Mike Caldwell. See how he uses his body to screen off the defender. And so if it's his momentum that takes him out, the catch is good, even though there is defensive contact. Steps back 1-2. Now watch him keep his leverage. They call face guarding.
Yeah, there's no question about the fact that Woods was riding him all the way out there. And then the official who came from a little farther down the sideline, threw the flag on the interference. Then they said that Caldwell also did get the foot down as he was coming down with the ball. So now a penalty as well was called at the end of that two-point conversion because the Oregon defenders were in the official's face a little too much there at the end of it. So now Bryan will kick off from midfield. But you know, this is no guarantee with 1:17 left to play either.
And they've got 2 timeouts left. There's a lot of time, so you've got to hope that maybe Dave Barr, Doug Bryan will try to line drive this thing so it's not an automatic touchdown. They've got such great field position as he's kicking off from midfield.
Touchback, you mean?
Touchback, excuse me.
Yeah, that's all right.
I lost my composure here for a minute.
Don't do that on me now. In the final minute, 17 to go. And Bryan will just kick it out of the end zone. And they're going to tell, that was good, by the way. It went through the uprights there. So now they're just going to tell Oregon, all right, you got it on your 20. If you can move it against us, you deserve it. No time went off the clock on that kickoff, so 1:17 to play, and the Bear defense has to hold Oregon. And don't forget Tommy Thompson, a guy who has range.
He's kicked a 56-yarder, which was the longest in Pac-10, I believe Pac-10 last year against Washington, so he's a certain offensive threat if they can get it in here close.
But what an incredible comeback by California, which trailed 30-0 in this ball game. And the Bears now lead at 42-41 with 1:17 to play. Memorial Stadium going crazy. Danny O'Neal back to pass. He'll run it, keep it in the middle of the field, and the Bears get him at the 25.
Bears want to keep those guys in bounds. Clock is running.
We're down to a minute left to play. Oregon still has 2 timeouts to use. Inside a minute now. O'Neal trying to get a play off, and that's got to be hard to do in this crowd right now. Back to pass, throwing along the sideline, incomplete. Wanted to go for Ricketts over there. And now it'll be a 3rd down and 5.
Well, with this crowd in the game right now, Joe, it's so tough for O'Neal to check off. You saw Steve Harden, the left tackle. He stands up, he can't hear anything. So it makes it really tough when the crowd gets into it, and that's what the Ducks did the first half, is they took the home field crowd out of the game.
So now the most important thing for the Ducks, try to get the 1st down here. But we are, of course, in 4 down time, as they will try again if they don't get it here. But 3rd and 5, they throw across the middle to Detweiler, complete out to the 40 to the 42. And that'll stop the clock until they reset the chains. Oregon still with 2 timeouts left. 42 seconds to play, and the Ducks will line up.
Well, he does a good job here, O'Neal, getting back, looking to the opposite side, and then hitting Detweiler.
1st down, he throws it up, that'll go incomplete.
Excellent play by Artis Houston. The corners are up in 2 deep coverage, which means they play the flat and funnel everything outside of them. O'Neal was anticipating him getting in the hole between Dante DiPaolo and Artis Houston. Artis did a great job of just shoving the receiver out of bounds.
35 seconds to play. The Ducks still with their 2 timeouts. The Bears have come back from a 30-point deficit to lead this game. And movement along the offensive line. As the Ducks that time had movement, Steve Harden, the big left tackle, thought the snap count had occurred. He started to back up in his pass protection, and that'll cost the Ducks 5.
Well, Jared Willard, the old salty veteran, kind of makes a quick movement, steps up like he's going to dog, and that pulls Steve Harden off.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 15. And it's all a field position battle right now. Every 5 yards helps for California. O'Neal the pass. They try to go after him. He throws long. Houston's out there. He picks it off. Artis Houston with the interception for California. Incredible ball game.
Artis Houston has been the best cornerback this year. He's made plays not only on special teams, but out in coverage. You know, he's the them they think you can beat them, just continues to make the big play.
Did you see Rich Brooks take Lamont Woods, his defensive back there, and put his arm around him? Woods got beat both times for both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. And he put his arm around him and told him that, you know, it's not just you. You have a tendency in a situation like that to put it all on your shoulders. And now Barr will down the ball. The Ducks will undoubtedly use their timeouts here and hope for a miracle.
Yeah, Rich Brooks is signaling timeout there. They got 24 seconds still. Now they've got 1 left.
So they'll use their timeouts and just hope that something crazy were to happen in a fumbled exchange or something like that. But
now you see Danny steps up. He's got, okay. Drops back, and he's going to go to the right of the screen. Artis Houston just rolls with him on a cover 2, overthrows him. And McLemore isn't able, if you can't get the ball, you want to break it up. You got to break it up. But Artis acted like a wide receiver there. Watch this catch. Beautiful.
You know, we saw in the UCLA game to begin play this year when it looked like things looked bad for the Bears, and Zomo made the interception to save that ball game, and that man said, you know, this team really showed some heart here today, and he wondered if last year's team would have had that same kind of heart.
And this is the second game that the Bears come up from behind and make the big play. Bears making the big play this year.
I mean, how could you're down 30-0 early in the second quarter? If you were going to ever pack it in, that was going to be the time right there. So this team really finds something out about itself after coming back from 30 down in this ball game. Let's go downstairs to Glenn Kuiper. Glenn?
I agree with you, Joe. And Dave Barr, you got to give him a lot of credit. 2 long plays. That one kind of got them back into it. And then that final play, the Damian Simeon, really was the one that said, hey, we really do have a chance to win this game. Showed great composure after a really tough first half, did Barr. And this has been an outstanding ball game. And, hey, Cal is for real. I said going into the second half, they showed signs and come back and win this game. Prove that they are a good team. They have done that.
And this should be the final snap. Barr will down it. And now Oregon cannot stop the clock. The crowd will stand and chant the countdown here as we're down to 10 seconds left to play in this ball game. And the California Golden Bears will go 5-0 on the 1993 season as they come back from a 30-0 deficit and defeat Oregon by a score of 42-41. Incredible.
Rich Brooks can't believe it. This whole Oregon Duck team is in shock.
They haven't seen anything like this at Memorial Stadium since the play. The last time they had a game like this was when people were running over Stanford trombone players.
You know, the end of the second quarter, you just knew, you know, it was just such an uphill battle, but the tempo was set on the first series that the Ducks had the ball when Wiley, the tight end for the Ducks, you know, got hurt. That was just kind of the tempo setter right there. Everything went the Bears' way. Willie Tate.
An incredible 42-41 win as California beats Oregon, and the Bears up their record to 5-0. We'll catch our breath and come back right after this.
I'm Casey Shaughnessy for Sports Channel Sports Minute. When Igor Larionov and Sergei Makarov played for the former Soviet Union, they made up 2/3 of the world's most famous line. Now they're playing together again for the first time in years, and they're playing for the San Jose Sharks.
We've been together a long time, and you know, we understand each other. It's very quickly, very fast. We don't need to, talk too much.
They play together for years, for 6-7 years, and then they get split. I already said they get like divorced, like family, and get divorced, and they were a little lost in NHL, but now they are getting together again.
They're probably one of the best lines in the world, if not the best line in the world, and to see those guys and to play with them and stuff, it's quite a thrill.
You can keep up with the San Jose Sharks all season right here on Sports Channel. From Burlingame for Sports Channel Sports Minute, I'm Casey Shaughnessy.
Today's game was brought to you by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, It's like buying time. Well, welcome back to Memorial Stadium, where the folks here are still pinching themselves. Did they really see Cal come back from a 30-point deficit to defeat Oregon by a final score of 42-41? Not only the greatest deficit in California history, but also in Pac-10 history. That's exactly what they saw. I don't know, Matt, coaches talk about having heart, never giving up. After you pull one out like this, it makes believers out of your players, doesn't it?
You know, they came out and Joe set the tempo in the third period, and almost, 30-0. What do you say? But they kept their composure, and they systematically went about just getting points on the board. And the momentum changed, and they did a great job. It's tough to point out any couple plays that because there were so many big ones that were really, key, except for the last two.
Well, let's go to those last two. Cal needing to get in the end zone here. Dave Barr will throw to Iheanyi Uwaezuoke and get the Bears within one.
You talk about putting the ball where it's got to be, where the defender cannot get at it. And you see Iheanyi there, great concentration on Alex Molden, and just does a super job. And another guy that gets picked on the next play here for the two-point conversion. Dave, what appears to be a two-point checkoff, throws to Mike Caldwell. Mike does a great job of maintaining position and makes the catch, kind of a late catch and a late call. And this place just erupts when they give him the point was good.
And undoubtedly the best California football game that I've ever seen. Just anything you could ever want defensively and offensively. The Bears now will take a 5-0 record into their ball game next week against the University of Washington right here at Memorial Stadium. Couldn't ask for a better one. Final score here, 42-41 for Matt Booza, Glenn Kuiper, the rest of our crew. I'm Joe Fonte. Thanks for being with us today. The Bears up their record to 5-0, coming from 30 points down to defeat Oregon by a final score of 42-41.